Hello, hello, hello. Antphrodite here, your pop culture psychic, back again with another celebrity reading. This time it's on Elon Musk and Grimes. So I'll put a link to my last one that I did on them a while ago up here if you haven't seen it. So allegedly, Grimes has tweeted and deleted for Elon Musk to answer her lawyer or let her see her kid. There was allegations that he wasn't letting her see her son and keep her from her son. And she's also telling him to tell the other woman that he had babies with behind her back to unblock her on Twitter. Or X. So there's a bunch of mess and drama. So I don't really know what's going on, but I'm going to go ahead and look at the dynamic between Elon Musk and Grimes, and I'm sure the other baby mama. Okay, so remember these readings are all alleged for chambers only, and let's get started. Remember, if you guys like this, you can always join my YouTube memberships. There's a link down below. If you're on mobile, there's a link in the description. There's $5, $10, $50 tiers, and you can get exclusive pick a card, story times, or win readings from me. All right, so Grimes on the right, Elon on the left, energy in between. Let's look at the baby mama. Uh-oh. Okay. So Elon Musk showed up as the Six of Swords, which is travel, distance, change the internet. So he's definitely hyper-focused on Twitter or X. Definitely hyper-focused on that. He's also hyper-focused on what the internet is saying about him. I see him like scrolling and caring what everyone's saying and talking about him all the time. Like Google alerts, tease. Like he's obsessed right now about what people are saying. And also trying to get Twitter back on track. What's interesting here is the Empress is reversed for Grimes. So I definitely think that there's some sort of issue because Empress is like mom reversed. So he's definitely causing some issues with her ability to be a mother, like her motherhood. All alleged for chambers only. No facts here, just opinions. But when the Empress is reversed, I can understand why she would feel that way. It seems like he's not letting her make decisions, or if he is making her letting her make decisions, he's going against them. So if she decided something, he'd be like, okay, and do the exact opposite. He's just making executive decisions for his children, regardless of what she thinks, and is disregarding her. If he wants to do something, he will do it. So he's just disregarding her as an authority figure. That's what that means. The Five of Cups is disappointment between the two of them, which means that he has completely turned on her. I feel like he just is disappointed in her and feels like here's what I'm hearing. You failed the mission. So it feels like a cult leader when like a cult leader is like, we had a plan, we had a mission, and you failed. And now you're useless to me because you did not follow through with what we decided. Like it almost is like he feels like she like got humanized and corrupted by everyone else. Like your emotions are getting the best of you and you're not doing what we were supposed to be doing. Now the baby mama here, I forget her name. She's the moon reversed, which is the revealing of secrets, which means she's a tattletale. So she's giving him all alleged for chambers only. She's giving him information. I don't know where the information is coming from, but she's giving him some form of information. I don't know if it's coming from other people. I don't know if it's coming from work. I don't know if it's coming from Grimes. But this girl, the moon reverse, is like, I'll give you anything you want. I will find anything that you need. I will show you what you need to show. I think that she very much likes the money that he has and the power that he has. And the Knight of Pentacles being reversed tells me that he changed his mind constantly, and so she's constantly trying to like give him what he needs. So she's 1000% a pick me in my opinion, and I think that she's just like willing to do what he asks of her. I do think that she thinks similarly to him. I know he's very robotic in the way that he thinks, and I feel like she's very similar, where she can kind of understand his. I don't think she has high levels of emotional intelligence. And I think Grimes does. And so I think she has extremely low levels of emotional intelligence. And so does Elon. So I think that's why she understands what he communicates, because I think that she doesn't really get it either. I also think that she feels like Grimes is just like dead weight. And I think that Elon feels that way now too. He feels like it's like you're not pulling your weight. Like you're not doing what you should be doing. The Ten of Swords is like a self-sabotage. I feel like that's almost like this girl just doesn't understand why Grimes is so emotional. I could totally see Grimes like lashing out against this girl and lashing out at Elon emotionally because she's frustrated and worn out. And the thing is like you're not going to get emotion from someone who has low levels of emotional intelligence. He doesn't have that. So you're angry and you're frustrated, Grimes, at his lack of empathy and emotion, but you're wasting your breath because it doesn't exist. You can't get mad at someone for not utilizing something they don't have. So that might be a harsh way of putting it, but that's the way it reads. It reads as like they're looking at her as like, why is she so overdramatic? Why is she so crazy? Grimes is crazy. Grimes is crazy. But it's like she's just emotional and the two of you are not. So you know how sometimes you can say like someone's too smart for their own good or too book smart for their own good? That's what it feels like to me. I also feel like Elon, so the Ten of Cups is family, happy ever after, children, Page of Cups reversed and King of Cups. Okay, this is kind of intense. I see him being very hard on his children. And like if your baby was like 3 years old, he would expect you to be advanced for your age or he'd be angry. Like I see him being like, my child or children need to be prodigies. Like you need to be really good at this thing. Like I see him pressuring or wanting his children to be like geniuses. So I see him being like, this is what I see in my mind's eye. And this might just be a metaphor, but what I see him doing is like having a checklist for all of his children and being like, okay, this person, this child, if they're going to be a doctor, then they need to make sure that they're good at X, Y, and Z. Like I almost see him studying his own children. Like being like, they're into this, so they're going to be like this type of person. Like he's almost overly invested in their progression as like intelligent beings. It's very strange. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm just saying I've never really experienced this before in someone's energy, but I see him like looking at his children as case studies. Like I see him being like, okay, so we took Grimes's music DNA and my DNA, and what part of this child is going to be like this, and why isn't this child performing like this? This child should be performing like this. Like it's weird the way he looks at his children and the way that he dissects the information. His brain is very different than everyone else's. So whether or not that's good or bad, you guys can decide, but he looks at them as like potential. Like what is their potential? Are they reaching their potential? It's always about productivity with him. It's always about advancement with him. It's always about striving for perfection. It's very interesting. His brain is weird. Queen of Wands, High Priestess, and the Three of Swords. I also think that these two women, I think that they hate each other. I do think they've gotten into it before. Shocker. I will also say that I feel like Grimes still loves him, which is interesting. I don't know if that's a new revelation or not, but I feel like there's a part of her that still loves him. But I'm wondering if she's just codependent and she just thinks that that's love, but it's really codependency. Because the Fool's reversed, the Knight of Swords is upright, and the Four of Pentacles, which is mostly about investing in someone and then ripping the rug from under them. So it's like conditioning her to get attached to him and then ripping the rug from under her. So if anything, I kind of just feel like she just feels like a separation anxiety or like, you know, a loss of codependency. I do see a new love interest for Elon coming up here soon. Two of Cups, Ace of Cups, and the Page of Pentacles. Someone has their eye on him or his eye on them. I see a new one. He moves on quickly. I see a big courtship too. Grand gestures, lots of money, lots of gifts. Six of Cups reverse, Eight of Pentacles reverse, and Sun. It's someone new. I don't know if I would necessarily say Six of Cups. I don't know if I would say that this one is motivated by children. I think this one's motivated by physical beauty. Usually I think he looks at his interests with women as like their ability to create offspring, but for this one, it seems like it's very much like this person's hot. Two of Pentacles, Justice card reverse, and Five of Swords. It's also someone that I feel like he has a savior complex. Knight of Swords here. So I think there's someone that's in need of help soon. Like with the Five of Swords reverse and the Justice card reverse, someone like there's like a damsel in distress. Someone that he's gonna like help out. They might have legal issues. Justice card reverse could be that too. But it's usually just advice. Yeah, Tower, Nine of Wands reverse, and Seven of Wands. Him swooping in when someone's in a bad place and when someone needs help. He really likes to be a savior. He's a very weird savior complex. He likes to pluck women out of things and then make them into something. It's very strange. I mean, the Hierophant is like commitment, marriage. Six of Pentacles is accountability, and the Death card. I mean, I know he doesn't really care if someone's married or not, so I wouldn't be surprised if we hear some whispers about some sort of infidelity. But regardless, Hierophant and Six of Pentacles to me is about making deals with people and paying people off or giving people money for certain things. So to me, I just see that as like he doesn't care about anything. He'll just throw money at his issues, which we already know. I just see him doing a lot for this girl. I see him paying a lot, giving money. If he had to pay someone off for her, he would. Like, I just see him giving a lot of money to this person and like solving their problems with money. Eight of Swords, Lover's card reverse, and Three of Cups. I don't know who this is. What's interesting here with the Three of Cups reverse and the Lover's card, there are women that I think he's taking care of that can call him up whenever they want. I see multiple women around him. Sometimes the Three of Cups is 3, but I see multiple women around him that will call him when they need something and he helps them. It's weird. He wants to shut Grimes out completely. He just finds Grimes to be pretty useless. That's really cold-hearted. He's very cold-hearted, you guys. King of Wands reverse, Six of Wands reverse, and Three of Pentacles. He feels like she's an embarrassment to him. He's so cold-hearted, dude. It's crazy. Two of Wands reverse, King of Swords, Strength card. You have to do what he says. That's it. That's it. He's very stubborn. He's very consistent. He'll step on anyone he needs to. That's it. You do it as he says, or he just doesn't care. He's not even going to argue. I don't even see him arguing with people. There's no arguing. This is what I said, and if you don't want to do it, I just walk away and do it without you and do what I want to do. It's kind of scary. It's the first reading where I've been in his energy and I'm like, I'm kind of scared of him. Four of Swords, Five of Pentacles reverse, and the Chariot reverse. So the only reason why he hasn't like gone psycho crazy, like evil genius thing is simply because he has his own idea of like a moral compass. And so there are certain lines he won't cross because he has a very strong moral compass for himself. Now, it's not what you and I would deem normal morality. It's his own rule set. But the only reason why he hasn't gone psycho crazy is literally because of the rule set that he set for himself. There are lines he won't cross and boundaries he won't cross because he's like, these are the rules. And if you looked at that, you'd be like, what? Those are your rules? Like, what? But it's the only thing keeping like the beast in check. It's keeping the monster caged. So I don't think he'll ever do something super crazy because of that. Because for some reason he has this like code of conduct. I think he tells women this too. Ten of Pentacles, Page of Wands reverse, and the Nine of Wands is like indoctrinating people into that. The women that are around him. I mean, that's kind of it. Like I said, like he wants his children to be a certain type of way. And if he feels like the mother isn't doing what he needs them to do, he will find a way to do it. or find a way to separate, them from being able to do what he doesn't want them to do. So it's kind of it. I will say, I think that after him getting a taste for fame, he's addicted. And I will say that if there was ever a way to, if Elon ever has a downfall, it will be his addiction to fame. Star, Two of Swords verse, and Seven of Swords tells me that his downfall would be his obsession with being famous. He very much likes the approval of others, and he wants to be extremely well liked. And that is the key to his downfall. Right now, I think he's fine. But eventually, I do think people are going to abuse the fact that he's a fame whore, and I think they're going to start to swipe at him. I think I'm just going to leave it at that. I don't really have anything else to say about this. Interesting reading. If you guys like that, make sure you follow me, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, Antphrodite. I go live on all those platforms. Subscribe down below. Hit the subscribe button. Join my YouTube memberships. If you're on mobile, there's a link in the description as well. $5, $10, and $15 tier. You get exclusive pick a card, story times, and you can win readings from me. That's about it. Until next time.